Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and a Merry Christmas to you. Yes. Oh my, we filled the auditorium. What a wonderful. Chris, look at that. We filled the auditorium today. Well, welcome to all of you, and welcome to everyone out there on TV land that's watching on the OLN. And we have some special guests here and visitors here at Otterbein today. And so special welcome to all the guests and the visitors that we have here today. So anyway, a couple of announcements, very brief. There's a lot of music here at Otterbein this week, the Christmas season. So on Sunday, the church choir in this very room will be giving their Christmas concert. And on Tuesday, the Otterbein Men and Women's Chorus will be giving their Christmas concert in this same room. And then on Thursday, the 19th, we'll be celebrating or observing Blue Christmas, where a special inspiration will be provided. And then on Christmas Eve, Christmas Eve, that's the 24th, and okay, a special Christmas Eve service. Now, it'll be in the afternoon. It won't be in the evening, but they'll turn the lights down low, and you'll think it's in the evening. Anyway, we're certainly glad that you're here. Look, we filled the auditorium. What is so neat. That is great. Okay, so to begin our program, join me in reading a poem. Can you believe that? We're going to read a poem together, and it's on the back of your program there. It's called Everywhere Christmas Tonight. So, okay. All right, let's start out here. Christmas in lands of the fir tree and pines. Christmas in lands of palm tree and vines. Christmas where the snow peaks stand white. Christmas where cornfields are sunny and bright. Everywhere, everywhere, Christmas tonight. Christmas where children are hopeful and gay. Christmas where old men are patient and gray. Christmas where peace, like a dove in its flight, broods over brave men in the thick of the fight. Everywhere, everywhere, Christmas tonight. So today, the Joyful Ringers are going to take us on a musical journey where we have musical selections that have been composed throughout the years and from many, many different countries. And Isaac Watts, sometimes called the father of English humanity, wrote the words "Joy to the World" based on the 98th Psalm and included in his publication the Psalms of David in 1719. Many of the hymns that you will be hearing the bells perform today have been written 200 and 300 years ago. Christmas music has just lasted forever, it seems like. Lowell Mason adopted the words to Handel's Tomb Antioch from the Messiah. So our first stop this year, or tonight, this afternoon, is in England and Germany as we hear John Benke's arrangement of Joy to the World. Linda Lamb has arranged the choir's next selection using carols from England, America, and France. O Come, Emmanuel, and O Little Town of Bethlehem. And the text for O Come, Emmanuel was originally in Latin, and then was translated, of course, and used in German church music, and started way back in the 15th century in France. Inspired by his visit to Bethlehem in Palestine, Philip Brooks wrote the poem, O Little Town of Bethlehem. It started as a poem, and then later was adapted with some music. And he wrote the poem, O Little Town of Bethlehem, for the children of his Sunday school class in Philadelphia. And Louis Redner, who was the church organist at that time, promised the church that he would write a melody for that particular poem. And so the bell choir will now play Come and See This Child in Bethlehem, incorporating some very familiar tunes. One of the most popular Christmas carols in England is God Rest You, Merry Gentlemen. And originally, the word Mary meant may God grant you peace and happiness, and not necessarily just an adjective for a gentleman there. So anyway, references to this song have been made by Shakespeare, and he mentioned it in his play As You Like It, and also in Romeo and Juliet. So Charles Dickens made a reference to that in his poem and story, Christmas Carol. So this God Rest You, Merry Gentlemen has been mentioned by many, many people through the years. So now let's listen to God Rest You, Merry Gentlemen by the Joyful Ringers. right, let's continue our journey to France. And for an arrangement of a selection called Christmas Night. And it incorporates a French dance tune known as Ding Dong, Merrily on High. And so an arrangement of Christmas Night by our Joyful Ringers. Many Christmas carols make a reference to angels, and the bell choir has a selection about angels coming up. I think you'll recognize it. James Montgomery, the famous Scottish poet, wrote a poem in 1816, and he has written over 100 poems. You can look up his name, James Montgomery. And the inspiring melody was composed by Henry Smart. The familiar refrain at the very end is, come and worship, come and worship, come and worship the newborn King. And so now the bells are going to be playing Angels from the Realms. Okay, all right. For years, the Montgomery Ward Department in the store in Chicago gave away coloring books to children at Christmas time. And Robert May, an employee, was given the task of creating and writing this children's coloring book. His book first appeared in 1939, and 2.5 million copies were distributed to children from Montgomery wards. May's brother-in-law, Johnny Marks, adopted the story to music, and it was recorded by none other than the singing cowboy, Gene Autry, in 1949, and thus was born Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, we're going to invite you to sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So would you turn to page 2 in your program? And Barbara at the piano, Barbara Crouse at the piano will be accompanying us. And so let's sing away Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Thank you.
Give yourself a hand there. All right, okay. By the way, this service today, or concert today, will be replayed on the OLN. So when you get back home, watch for the announcement at the time. Kevin will put it back on the OLN so you can see and listen to what a great chorus we have here today. The Otterbein Handbell Quartet, 1, 2, 3, 4, will continue our global journey with 3 selections. The first is The Snow Lay on the Ground, comes from England, featuring the familiar frame Venite Adoramus Dominum, meaning, come, let us worship the Lord. You hear that Latin? My Latin teacher would just be excited if 70 years later, I'm still speaking Latin. Here we go. Carol of the Drum was composed by Catherine Davis, based on a Czechoslovakian folk tune. And finally, from Wales comes Deck the Halls, which originated in their winter festival. And their festival was called Yule. At that time, it had nothing to do with Christmas. They just called it the Yule Festival. So now, The Snow Lay on the Ground, the Carol of the Drums, and Deck the Halls.
That was just a practice. We'll get it together in a second.
Very good.
We're gonna try. But it was a good practice. I mean,
Yeah. We did it once more.
All right, now as the bell choir is returning to their places, we invite you to be the stars of the show today and to sing along Frosty the Snowman, and the words are on page 2 in your program there today. And we have Barbara Crouse on the piano. So Barb, take it away. Hey, there you go. All right, the Parade of the Tin Soldiers was originally composed in 1897, and it was a piano solo originally, and later the title was changed to Parade of the Wooden Soldiers. This tune has been widely arranged for orchestras such as the Boston Pops and choreographed by the Russian Ballet, and every year the Rockettes in New York City will perform it. And they've been performing since 1933. So these words have been created to go with it. Toy shop, lock your doors up night, and everything is quiet for the night. Suddenly the clock strikes 12, and the fun begins. The dolls are on their best array. There's going to be a wonderful parade. Here they come, here they come. Parade of the Tin Soldiers. You know, sometimes when we're going through the worst of times, there's a moment of inspiration that comes to us. And such is the case from the next song entitled Up on the Housetop. Benjamin Handbell was a student at Otterbein College, yay, and back in 1864, I mentioned the worst of times, he wrote Up on the Housetop. His little white frame house is still there on the Otterbein campus. I walked past that house for 4 years every day when I went to class. And so anyway, the Handbell House Museum is still there on West Main Street in Westerville. So now let's hear Up on the Housetop by Benjamin Handbell. Well, what's Christmas season without singing Jingle Bells? Jingle Bells was originally written for a Thanksgiving season in Medford, Massachusetts. They had an annual sleigh race every year back in the 19th century. And so, for example, the third stanza of Jingle Bells says, "Now the ground is white, go it while you're young. Take the girls tonight and sing a sleighing song. Just get a bobtailed nag, 240 is his speed, then hitch him to an open sleigh and crack, you'll take the lead." So this was often sung at parties and has been sung for years and years. So now the bell choir will play Jingle Bellorama. Well, today we've taken you on a global journey of Christmas music from France, Germany, Wales, Scotland, Czechoslovakia, and good old US of A. And music is truly a universal language, no question about that. So as we conclude our global celebration today, we invite you to sing along Silent Night, to join the bell choir in singing Silent Night. The words are on the back of page 2 in case you need a little prompting there. And so originally Silent Night was written in 1818 in Germany, and the church organ was broken down and was in desperate need of repair and couldn't be used for the Christmas Eve service that year. So to meet the emergency, a man by the name of Joseph Moore, who was the vicar of the church at that time, and also the church organist, composed the music on the spot of the familiar carol that we're going to be singing here, Silent Night. So we invite you to sing Silent Night with the bells and Barb on the piano then. Well, thank you for coming to our Christmas concert today, and a special greeting for all the visitors and guests that we have here today. And on the back of your program, we have one more song for audience participation. We invite you to sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas."